I've just picked up a load of Cicericium donated by a friend. Thank you, Claire. Really amazing haul of plants there. That's going to make a huge difference to reducing how much of my grant from the area board that I have to spend. So this is something to consider with community gardens as well. You need to make a commitment to do a lot of running around in your car if you have one, picking up donated items. People are so willing to donate, but often they'll want you to come to them to pick up, which is fine if you have the time. If you don't have the time, then you really do need to find people that are willing to do that as part of your team. But I would say, how can I put this? Do ask them if they are going to actually do it in not such a blunt way, but often people will offer things to you in the way of picking things up or other little jobs, and sometimes they don't get done. I think people mean to, but that's one of the drawbacks really of a community garden, because people are offering their time for free to you. Some things don't happen when they're supposed to happen, or people forget. Often it impacts on other things that you're doing. So if you can find really reliable people to take on jobs like this, then you've really that's one of the sort of pillars of your community garden in a way, because that's quite a constant ongoing job, is the picking up. You might have tools donated, you might have plants like these, and so on. But I'm so grateful to my friend Claire for bringing these on. They were tiny when she potted them up, and she's had them sat at her house waiting for me to come pick up. There's lots of Cicericium there and loads of Alchemilla, which look a little bit sad at the moment, but that's just the time of year. They'll pick up beautifully. So yeah, that's another aspect of community garden. This also, I'll just say that this kind of thing impacts on your planning as well. I keep saying how you have to have a really flexible mindset when you're planning your planting, and this is one of the reasons why, because you'll suddenly have a haul of plants donated to you. You may go down the line of being really rigid with your plan. I'm lucky that these were in my plan. But if you're being more flexible with what you plant, then you can't always tell people how the final result is going to be, and I would recommend that for your more sort of low-key gardens that aren't the one I'm doing at the moment, which is, the brief is quite rigid. The council haven't told me what to plant, they've just asked me that I make sure it's quite smart, because it's such a public place here at the entrance of the leisure centre there. And because of that, I'm sticking to my planting plan as much as I can. But I will always take donated plants, because they can then go into the plant sale if I'm not using them in the space itself. And they can become part of the fundraising activities. So there's a little bit about plants and things to consider. I would never say no to plants. My general response now when people offer plants is, can you pot them up and keep them until I come pick them up? Even better, can you pot them up and drop them off? That doesn't always happen. What I say no to now, just because of time, is I won't go and actually dig them up myself from someone's garden, which often people do want you to do, but I just simply do not have the time to do that. So these are things you learn as you go along, and again, it'll all have to do with the size of space you've got, the time limits you've got. My project here is very time sensitive because I have grants to spend and so on. So that kind of dictates what I can say yes to and what I can't really. Anyway, there's a little bit about plants, and I'll see you in another video.